All right, welcome to the Fuel with Purpose podcast, brought to you by Xcel Strategies, a mentoring network. My name is Jay Thompson, and we've got Nick Schultz here with us today. Nick and I are going to be sharing a little bit about our week with Xcel and our mentoring work in Effingham County. Nick, good morning, buddy.
It's good to be here, Jay.
Yeah,
and
man.
Not just because I work for you, but because I genuinely want to be here and talk about this stuff.
Yeah,
I'm excited, man.
We're excited. Listen, we're high above Savannah, Georgia in the Sugar City studios. And this podcast is brought to you by Mark and Jenna Hall. They're good friends of ours, and they're our title sponsor for the podcast. So we're thankful for them.
Indeed, we are.
Yeah, man. So we had a busy week, right? We were training on the construction trailer this week, which is one of my favorite things to do during the week. It reminds me of when I would take some mission trips overseas, and you would apply yourself really hard to a task. And really, when you start working on that trailer, it's like everything kind of fades away. It doesn't matter, your skin color. It doesn't matter your political views or whatever. You've got a task at hand, and you're pursuing to complete the task.
Yeah, it was a good week. We were out in Effingham County at the Treatland House. It's a boys' home at New Ebenezer, and we had a handful of boys out there, and we kind of did a more advanced training because the first time we went out there, it was get used to the trailer, get used to the tools. Here's how you kind of do some general things. But this time for those 2 nights, they were using the saw themselves. They were doing all the measurements, putting in the nails, the screws, and did some tests the first night so they get used to it. And then they built themselves their own pretty cool looking stool that second one.
Yeah. So, and we'll put a picture up of the stools that they made. But the first month was the beginners class.
Right.
And then this month was Woodworking Basics. Mm-hmm. And so you're right, man, they're starting to apply themselves, starting to work with more tools. I think we learned about fasteners the other night.
Yeah.
And used the screw gun and just kind of were able to assemble their own stools. It was really a fun, enjoyable
you taught them like how to be like their own work crew too. It's like, hey, we're not going to set everything up for you. You're going to unload the trailer. You're going to put stuff back in the trailer, know where it goes, how to be safe with it, because that's what you need to learn how to do if you're going to have a job where you're using this stuff and you're going out and doing these kind of jobs or this work, whether it's in construction or something else. And, for me, it was fun, too, to see all of them eventually got into it and at some point in building and were excited about it. But there's some that stand out where you can tell they're working really hard. They're excited about it. And there's a couple in particular, and one especially, he was going to town, working really hard. And to be able to encourage that young man who's at this boys' home and say, listen, man, you're 14, 15 right now. When you're old enough, we got so many connections in the community that somebody would want to hire you as soon as you're available. As soon as you're old enough, you're available because the amount of effort you put in and the passion you have for it, like you're going to be making good money right off the bat just from that work ethic. And to see his eyes kind of light up like, well, I trust you guys, and you meet it and you have those connections. Like it really encouraged him that there's possibilities out there that he didn't see before because we came there with the trailer to show it to him.
On every crew, you have to start someplace. And on a construction crew, you start as a helper. And so you have to start unloading the trailer, and pulling the wood out and things like that. Yeah. And so you're right. There's always that one or two. I think we might have had 7 or 8 young men out there on the trailer the other night. And you've got 2 guys that they pull up early and they're like, hey, I'm ready to go. Mm-hmm. We just got off the bus from school. We got a snack. Now we're out here on the trailer, ready to go. So they're pulling equipment out, setting things up. And really, it's a very natural, crew-like environment. When we pull the trailer up, it's time to get going. And then out of those 8 young men, you've got another 4 or 5 that are getting it. Like they're slowly coming behind and they're starting to catch the energy and momentum.
Well, there's a lot more to it than just showing up and doing projects with them. Like, you also have to remember the young men we're working with, not just at this place, but other places too. They've got baggage like we have baggage, and there's been hurt and pain from adult figures, maybe a father figure, and they're not going to just trust you with everything just because you showed up once. They start trusting you more when you keep showing up.
It's the consistency,
and that opens the door up. So the ones that are nervous at first, or like don't want to listen to you, or seem like they don't want to do it, they're just seeing if you're real or not.
Yeah.
And then once they figure out you're real, it's like then they start engaging.
Yeah.
But it's because that relationship is being built, and it's not just like, hey, we're coming out here, we need you to build a stool, take some pictures, and make us feel good about what we do. It's like,
exactly,
we want to pour into your life, and the staff there is really great too, because they're out there watching the whole time. They're making sure we're okay, and it's a mutual thing with this. So wherever we go, there's other adults that are already caring for some of these young men, and we get to be an asset and come alongside what they're already doing with something very special and unique that can get them someplace farther in life that they don't have access to at this point.
Yeah, and listen, we're grateful for Miss Kristen Wirt, who's the director at the Treatment House.
Yeah.
And she's the one who's invited us out there. I just received a call from the principal at the alternative school in Effingham County, and he said, Jay, I talked to the superintendent. We want you to bring the trailer out. And so we're excited. Now we'll go to Effingham County with the trailer at least twice a month. And one of those days we'll take the trailer out to the Treatment House and train the guys at the Treatment House once a month.
Same thing happened with Bryan County.
Oh, come on.
With the alternative school and stuff. Like they're like, all right, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a unique opportunity for even the schools and our partnerships.
Sure.
And that's what's exciting about this. It's like we can go partner with nonprofits and schools and boys' homes and whoever, and still do what our mission is, but support these other people's missions too.
Right.
And actually do what, community is supposed to be. It's like,
help
now, these young men.
Now, I know a lot of people will see the podcast and they'll say, we want to engage, I've got a workshop at my house. I love working with wood, or I'm a retired floor finisher, which we've got a pastor that's a retired floor finisher guy. He's been coming out with us and working on the trailer. How can people plug in with us and get engaged with what we're doing on the trailer?
Simply just, you can message us on Facebook if you're clicking on the link here to check it out. You can also email us at info@xceltoday.com. And our hashtag, if you want to know what's going on, is Fueled with Purpose, just like the podcast. And if you want to find us on social media, it's at Xcel Mentoring. And you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and just message us on any of those platforms. And we want to get you plugged in. You don't need a lot of experience. You don't have to be an expert at mentoring or being around teenagers. Yeah. You don't even really have to be any kind of specialist at woodworking or using a hammer. It's showing up, being present, and helping us and helping these young men with the projects that they're doing.
Right.
And that's, people always overthink mentoring sometimes, of I have to be this expert training, and you and I are no experts by any means. It's, you show up and you care, and you do life together, you work on something together, and you will naturally mentor.
I called a friend of mine who was mentoring on the trailer a couple of weeks back. I don't know if you remember Casey, but Casey said this morning, he said, for a week after that experience, he goes, I was just floating on cloud nine, because it was such a good experience for him to use his gifts on the trailer mentoring students.
Yeah.
And it made his week, And so, but we also know that there's other people out there that may want to sponsor. Maybe they can't work on the trailer, but maybe they want to sponsor one of our workshops. Yeah. And I know we saw that in Pembroke. We've seen it at Community Bible Church. And so share with people how they can sponsor a workshop.
Yeah, so like out in Pembroke and Bryan County, my buddy Al Hagan, he sponsored us to be able to do the wood workshop, and that covered our cost because we feed the boys, both nights, make sure we have drinks, our supplies, gas, everything. Like everything we do, like he helped us sponsor that and mentor when he was there. And that's another opportunity for somebody that's like, wow, you're coming to my community, my neighborhood. Maybe I can't be there. Maybe I will be there, but I can also help, because it does cost a little bit of money. But then you also have some partnership in that, where it's like we get to tell the young men in our community, it's like, hey, you care enough to be able to help make this happen. And it's, it's not tons of money or anything like that, but it's another way for people to get involved. People donate time, they've donated tools, they've donated resources, food to be able to give to the young men when we're doing this stuff. So there's so many ways to get involved. And again, you can just message us and we can definitely get you plugged in some kind of way.
Yeah, I would say I'm averaging $50 for each workshop, averaging. And
per kid?
Averaging $50 on expenses for material.
Oh, material.
And
just
so,
material. Gotcha.
and then also when you think about maybe you're not equipped for woodworking, or you may not have financially finances to provide for the workshop, but maybe you can make a meal, cook a meal, bring pizza, bring subs. So, there's a lot of ways to engage with us in our wood workshops.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, we know that we've got a lot of things coming up, but the big event is October 4th. We're excited about the Xcel Summit coming here to Savannah.
Yeah, what's that all about?
October 4th, yeah. Well, thanks for asking, Nick. Well, listen, we're excited to tell our story through the Xcel Summit. We've got a lot of stories to tell, obviously, like we're telling stories on our podcast from week in, week out. And but we want to tell you about some young men that are making a difference. And so we want to really introduce to our community our Men of the Year that have made a difference in our territories for Chatham County, Bryan County, Effingham. And we also want to show off our construction trailer and automotive trailer. And so we know that the Home Builders Association has played a major role in our construction trailer. And we've got other sponsors on that construction trailer we'd like to share with our community. But then also Dan Vaden Chevrolet, they've come alongside us in a big way and provided financially and provided other resources for us to get into the automotive trailer to teach automotive work within our network and within our schools. And so we're going to be able to show that off. We're going to be able to, we've got 2 big announcements of future trailers coming. And for future work, we've got a special guest speaker coming up from Palm Beach that we can't wait for you to hear his story. So we're excited about October 4th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Victory North, right off Whitaker and Victory here in Savannah, Georgia. So we look forward to seeing y'all. Where can we sign up for the event?
On our website, just go to xceltoday.com. You'll see a tab for events, and it's right there. Xcel Summit, you'll be able to see a video we made to show you what the walkthrough event's going to look like. Right. Because with COVID and everything going on, how people are going to be flowing and moving and have different times to go. So we're taking all that stuff into consideration. But you'll be able to see what it's going to look like, and it's going to be pretty sweet, man.
We got the Fabulous Equinox Orchestra. I love dancing to the Fabulous Equinox Orchestra.
That's like, that would have been your dream job if you could sing.
I might have to audition for them that night. So we'll see how it goes.
You got the radio voice, but not the singing voice.
Yeah, I don't have the singing voice, but we're excited about to have Equinox there with us. We've got Be Local Catering coming in to provide food for us. You're going to be able to see the trailers, experience the vibe of Xcel and our mentoring network, and meet a lot of good people doing some good work around the community. So we're excited about October 4th. And you can sign up on our website at xceltoday.com.
Xcel Strategies is a mentoring network that exists to empower young men with purpose and passion. We accomplish this through mentoring and training on topics such as goal setting, time management, relationships, health and fitness, financial stewardship, and so much more. To learn more about Xcel Strategies or how to support our work, you can visit us online at xceltoday.com.